He is the one and only Peter Schiff, the president of Euro Pacific Capital, also the author of Why an Economy Grows and How it Crashes. Peter, it's always good to speak with you. The fact that silver has moved down so sharply on the CME raising its margin requirements, doesn't that prove that a lot of silver's move was in fact fueled by speculation as opposed to fundamentals?
I would say that the moves over the last couple of weeks have been largely driven by speculators, but overall, the entire bull market, no. I mean, it's driven by the fundamentals. Silver isn't rising because there are speculators. Because silver is rising, that's why there are speculators. They're attracted to the bull market, but they're not causing it. But certainly at certain points, speculators will add to volatility. And we had a huge move up before this correction. So it's hardly crashing. I mean, silver's at $40 an ounce. I'd argue it's right back to its trend line, and I think it's a good buy right now, not only for a long-term holder like me, but if you're a short-term trader, if you're a fast money guy, I don't think there's a lot left to this correction. I think you got a lot more upside now just to retest the 50 level, which it certainly made sense that you got a correction from 50. After all, that's the record high from 1980. But, speculators get a bad rap. A lot of times the speculators decrease the volatility because they increase liquidity. But at times, yes, they're highly leveraged and they can exaggerate some of the swings. But it does create opportunities for people who might have been missing out on silver, and it was at 48, 49, 50. Now they got a nice pullback. It's a good time to buy.
Peter, it's Karen. Does this change your view of silver versus gold? Would you still be interested in being long both here?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when gold had, silver had gotten ahead of itself, I was advising my clients, mainly at Euro Pacific Precious Metals, to, favor gold over silver. But now that it's pulled back down to this level, I think, you can come back into your normal gold and silver buying. I still think that over time, silver is going to continue to gain on gold, although the gain that it had in the weeks preceding this, and certainly on the back of Ben Bernanke's very, very bullish comments for gold and silver, it had gotten ahead of itself.
Hey, Peter, Brian Kelly. I mean, part of the reason why people are buying the precious metals is because inflation around the world is higher than interest rates, basically negative real interest rates. If we start to see inflation coming down, India, China, they're starting to fight that. Do you get out of silver and gold at that point?
Well, I don't think it's going to come down because even though central banks like India just raised rates yesterday, they're still printing too much money. They're still propping up the U.S. dollar. And we had a T-bill auction yesterday. Short-term interest rates in the U.S. are at record lows. T-bills are now lower than they were at the depths of the financial crisis. I mean, what is that telling you? I mean, the Fed has got the monetary pedal to the metal, and these markets are going to keep going. And also, if you look at today, the dollar hit a new all-time record low against the Swiss franc. You need more than $1.15 to buy a Swiss franc. And even though you've had this huge drop in silver, the gold price has barely budged. We're still above 1,500. So anybody who thinks that, this is a turn in the precious metals market because silver has dropped back to 40, I mean, look at the fundamentals. The dollar making new lows, gold still trending higher. I mean, if this really was a turnaround, gold would be falling and the dollar would be rising.
Let me just amplify, I guess, than what I was saying. I wasn't saying the short silver here. I wasn't saying that the fundamental trade or the long-term trade is over by any stretch. What I was trying to say, maybe I didn't make my point, is the move that we had talked about and we had sort of pretty much nailed in terms of silver going from 25 to 50. I think that easy money in terms of it being up every single day is over. I think you're going to see now for an extended period of time days that it's up $1.50 down 2, up 3 down 2.5. And in that environment, if you're trying to day trade it, you can get chopped up. If you're Peter Schiff and have a longer-term view, or Brian Kelly, I think you will do fine over the long term in silver. But I think the easy long money in silver is what the point I was making, I think, is over for an extended period of time.
Day traders like the volatility. So if you get $2 or $3 swings, I mean, you could make more money off of bigger swings. It's the trend followers that might not like the volatility if it kind of whipsaws them a little bit. But I think we've cleared out a lot of that hot money. I think there's probably some shorts now. I bet a lot of people have been suckered into the short side of the silver market, and these are people who have sold silver. They have to buy it back, and I'm convinced they will buy it back at much higher prices.
All right, Peter, we're leaving it there. Thanks so much for phoning in. Appreciate it. Peter Schiff of Euro Pacific Capital.